Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to our Monday night Astra team call. I wish you all a very happy Easter, and I hope it's a great weekend for you. We have a very special Zoom call for you this evening, and I'll introduce our number one distributor very, very shortly. But just to say, my name is Sean Jackson. I'm the National Marketing Director with Juice Plus. And in fact, it is my great pleasure to introduce my direct upline partner, and also for those in the business with us, also your partner as well in Juice Plus. I think at this point it would be useful as we start the call just to give you a little bit of background if you haven't seen it already in the invitation to the Zoom call. But just bear with me a second because my phone with the information has just decided to do something it shouldn't. But just hang on a moment. Okay. Yeah, okay. Just a little bit of background, a bit of a bio for Jeff. Jeff Roberti, National Marketing Director. Over 28 years ago, Jeff was a broke waiter, can you believe, looking for a chance to prove himself, and the Juice Plus company, as it was then, gave him that chance. And through hard work and determination, Jeff built his business into a success story that is now legendary, not only within the Juice Plus company, but also in the direct selling industry, where he's rated in the top 10 of all-time earners in the industry as well. Last year, I think it was last year, the year before, Jeff was recognized by Business at Home magazine as one of the highest income earners in the industry. And basically through his accomplishments, which are, of course, very impressive, his focus is one of gratitude and love, and it comes from that angle, definitely, for a company that has provided a stable, lasting environment in which to both grow and serve. And that applies to all of us on the call as well. Although Jeff's global Juice Plus business includes distributors, franchisees in over 27 countries, and thousands of qualifiers, his mission remains to support and encourage those around him, and does this through recruiting, coaching, and mentoring on a daily basis. Jeff has never been more passionate, I can definitely vouch for that, or excited about the Juice Plus business because he truly believes the best is yet to come. I think at this point, Jeff, I'm going to hand it straight over to you to give a little bit more of your background and how you perceive our business in the future.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. Thanks, Jeff.
Great. Well, Sean, I'm calling in from my home here in Sarasota, Florida, Siesta Key Beach. It's nice to be home. I just came off 3 conferences in a row. I was over there in the UK, guys, and I was in Spain and just finished up one in Arizona. So in the last 30 days, it was exciting conventions and great to see all the Juice Plus family around the world. My story, Sean, just real quick. Most of you have heard my story. It's certainly easy to hear it on YouTube or different things, but I did not come from a wealthy background. I did not have a higher education, didn't have any I made up in being hungry. If you ever meet somebody that has a real hunger, a real desire, and a willingness to work, and and being teachable, and went to work on myself. Decided that I was going to be the best distributor in my organization, lead by example, quit making excuses in life, and I decided to step up and take self-responsibility for where I was at, but more importantly, self-responsibility for where I wanted to go in life. And I met a guy named Jim Rohn in the very beginning, who said, Jeff, better. And you can have more in life if you become more in life. And not to see things the way they are, but see things the way they could become. So I really started growing as a person. I studied Tony Robbins. I studied Zig Ziglar. I studied Jim Rohn, and just started feeding my mind and got myself in a really peak resource that I have to show up as an attractive person, somebody that came from that position of strength, that voice of authority, but also have a focus, not only having that confidence, but have a servant's heart to help other people. So my story, I started off as a customer, got involved in the business, went to a conference, and came home from that convention crying, thanking God for answering my prayers, and got off to a real fast start. I used to dream of making $100,000 in a year, and very quickly I was able to attain that type of earnings, and then it went to $100,000 a month and $100,000 a week, and it's just been incredible, the growth not only here in the United States, but in 25 plus countries around the world. And I guess my story is an example of not only somebody doing well in a short period of time, but longevity. I'm approaching 30 years, guys, 30 years. I'll be 54 this year. I started when I was 24. And so when I started at 24, by the time I was 30, I had already achieved financial independence. I was set financially for the rest of my life. Retire at 30, I guess. I could start my own team called the Rat Pack, retire at 30. But I was able to jump into it in my early 20s, and by 30 be financially set, and then the money and the wealth and the accumulation has been a residual income off of what I did that first 5 years in North America. Then I did another 5 years over in Europe and figure residual income off of that 5-year effort. So what I'm trying to say is this: you don't have to go out there and do 1,000 things well. You only have to do a handful of things 1,000 times over and over again. In other words, a few simple disciplines will equal multiple results. Few simple disciplines done consistently over and over again equal multiple rewards. Just like taking the product. You can't take the product one day and then skip the rest of the week and think you're going to get results. Same thing with the business. If your job description is telling this story to people, the Juice Plus story, our mission, our purpose, what we're all about, getting customers, getting you understand your job description, and you do that consistently over and over again, you're going to build something that's going to have residual income for the rest of your life. So what I'm saying is this: you can compress an entire lifetime of work in what you do in the next 3 to 5 years. If you step up. If you step up, not me, not my buddy JW that's on the line, not Sean, you. Don't look up line, don't look down line, look in the mirror. The number one recruiting tool in this business is a mirror. How do you feel about these products? How do you feel about this opportunity? But most importantly, how do you bottle up? Instead of Juice Plus, we could put in these little capsules, something that would increase your desire, your want to. I tell you to liquidate all your assets and buy as much as you can, because that's where it all starts, is that burning desire, somebody that's hungry. Most people don't make $1 million a year because they don't have to. You've got to have the want to. Tony Robbins will say, you don't get your shoulds in life, you get your musts. Things that are a must for you, a priority. Instead of 50 euros to sign up, what if it was 500,000 euros to sign up? Would you make this business a bigger priority in your life? Now, to years, you've got a solid 45-plus-year-old company, over $10 billion in sales worldwide, approaching $15 billion in sales, a solid company, solid leadership, a timeless product. But here's what you got. Juice Plus is sexy right now. We've attracted this younger generation now, these Gen Yers, these millennials that have come on and said, you know what? Juice Plus makes sense. Not only for prevention, but it also makes sense for vitality, for vanity, for looking good, for feeling good. And what's going on today with social networking and the type of growth and stories that we're hearing around the world, you've got the best of both worlds today. You got a solid company, but you know you're not going to be embarrassed. The company's going to let you down. You got a product that's not going to let you down. You got something here that's rock solid. But you've got something that's got to really brew people. I believe the top producers haven't even signed up yet. They're still coming to our company. So I'm going to give you an example of a buddy of mine who's on the call. Here's one story. I love sharing stories, selling results. People will forget what you said, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. I like to create experiences and sell it through results, not ingredients, through stories. Here's a guy that I've known for 30 years. One of my good buddies who could have went anywhere in the industry. He was one of the top earners in this industry. And the company that he was with for over 15 years had some problems, had some issues. Everybody jumped ship, went all the startup deals. It's a 45-year-old company and chose this as his home. And he was just with me at the last 3 conferences. And I want him to share with you his story. My good buddy, Jeff Weisberg. Jeff, are you on?
Sean, can you hear me okay?
I can. I don't know if anybody else is getting this sort of rather broken up signal at the moment.
Jared, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear? Okay, Jeff?
You can hear me okay?
Welcome, Jeff.
I can hear you, JW. Go ahead.
Sean, thanks for having me on the call, and same, JR, to you. What Jeff was saying is true. I've been involved in network marketing now 28 years. Was one of the top distributors with another company for 15 and a half. Jeff and I have been friends now. We go back to before he was even involved with NSA, 30 plus years. I had a lot more hair back then. And, when this situation happened to our company, I took my time and started looking around. And I realized that I wanted to get involved with a company in the water and air days of NSA. And so I knew about Juice Plus. And Larry Thompson, one of my mentors, told me I needed to make some criteria of what was important to me that was non-negotiable if I'm going to pick a company that I want to have another 15, 20-year run in. And once I do that, then start looking at companies. Don't go with the fastest, like Jeff said, deal or who was throwing out the most money, bridge money, position, spots, and all that. And I wrote down a couple of these things, and Juice Plus fit all of them. Number one, leadership. For those of you that have been around a long time, you might take a lot of this for granted. I was talking to Lauren Slocum about this the other day. Leadership. You got a guy like Jay Martin who's been around 40 plus years. He runs the company. He's still there. He was in Europe with us. He was just in Phoenix. So it's not a company that's publicly traded or a financial firm owns it where all they're interested in is dollars and cents. Number two, leadership in the field. Forget the fact that Jeff and I are buddies. Here's a guy who's not only one of the top money earners obviously number one in Juice Plus, but one of the top 10, like Sean said, in the world. He made it in one deal. Number three is product. Now with the way the FDA is in the United States and the FTC, a lot of these companies just develop a product. Imagine me and Sean come up with some great idea. Look at all the hair Sean has. I don't have any hair. He says, I got this great hair growth product. We make it in his mom's bathtub and we're in business. Well, it's got no science. It's got no longevity. And a lot of these products don't last. The Juice Plus, 20 plus years in business, the product on the market, and 30 plus clinical peer review studies, which most companies don't have any. Number four was international for me. I built a big international business. I wanted to build one. So I wanted a company that had already gone through the growing pains in the foreign markets, which Juice Plus has, but also wanted to open up more markets like Latin America and Asia and other markets in Eastern Europe. I could just plug people in because it's a lot easier to plug into a system than develop it all yourself. And obviously with Juice Plus, that is there as well. And so Jeff said to me, I've been like semi-retired for a long time. How about if, we team up and start rocking and rolling and start not just building in the U.S. and the markets we're in, but the next 3 to 5 years, let's look at all the other markets that are available. Being in the UK, I think that's where I met Sean. I met a lot of people. I was very impressed. Then went into Madrid and now just got back with Jeff from Phoenix. I had people in Phoenix, had people also in Madrid. And I think what's amazing is that in all three markets, they're doing the business a little different, yet they're having success. And Dan Holtzman said something in Spain that was very impressive. They're now focused on 2020 in Dubai, and they want to be $1 billion company and grow 100 million a year. Not 100 million a week or a month, or be the fastest company to $1 billion and then they're out of business. But a solid growth of 100 million a year in 2020 and be a solid $1 billion. That's very impressive because most of these companies around today won't be around in 2020, let alone have an event where they want to be at $1 billion. So that vision of the future is incredible where Dan wants to take the company. The other thing I saw in Europe was a lot of these young guys getting into business. He told me something. 7 of the top 10 money earners in Europe have been in the business less than a year. So it shows the potential in Europe is huge, as well as the United States and other markets. It's not just the top guys or guys that have been around 20 years. So I look at that and I say, hey, man, there's big potential. Remember, I just started in January. And there's huge potential. I got a lot of people excited, and people said to me, why would you get involved in something like Juice Plus? Because it's a misconception. I believe it's the best kept secret out there. I believe it's solid. It's long-term. I got my hat in 110%. I believe the next 5 to 10 to 20 years are going to be big. 500-600 million a year in sales is nothing compared to an Herbalife, an Amway, a Mary Kay, a Melaleuca, a New Skin. I mean, this is a $1 billion, $1.5 billion, $2 billion company. And for those of us that are getting involved now, we can take all this technology like what we're doing now. I mean, when Jeff and I got started in the industry, forget about internet, forget about social media, forget about a cell phone. It was all this. It was hardline, old school network marketing. Now I'm in California. He's in Florida. You guys are all over Europe, and we're on a computer screen for free talking around the world. To me, it still blows my mind. And so, I spent some time with a lot of these young guys that were having great success that they were doing that maybe I can share with you that I'm going to start using here that maybe you guys want to use. Concepts stay constant, techniques change. All social media is it's the old way of buying leads or running ads in the newspaper, the 3-foot rule. It's just a way of speeding up the process. It's instead of taking a year to do something, you can do it in 90 days. And so the one thing that I learned from these guys is consistency. Number one, clean up your Facebook profile. If you're not on Facebook, you need to be. It's not the only medium, but it's the biggest. And make it generic. Brand yourself based on who you are. You're a school teacher. You have a story. Don't brand Juice Plus, because you're not Juice Plus. You're marketing their product. Brand you, whoever you are, and make sure your Facebook page is generic with you. Number two is daily they post, 1-2 times a day, where they're consistently posting. Why that's important is because of the algorithms and the way Facebook and these other social media platforms work. The more you post, the more you get into the news feed. The less you post, the less you do. And so again, you want to do it consistently, once or twice a day. Don't like today, Monday systems out there that are being put together to help people do that. But right now you want to do it once or twice every single day, consistently, about nutrition, about weight loss, about yourself, about lifestyle, about beauty, about things you might read and see that are out there, about personal growth, different things like that. Number three is make sure your team's doing it. So if you started today by yourself and you did it, that's great. And by next month, maybe you got 10 people doing it. And maybe a month later, you got 50 people. And then 6 months later, you got a couple hundred. And everybody's doing it daily. The other thing is they use the social media to talk to people. I was with a couple of these young guys here the other day. They were in Los Angeles. We spent the day together. And this one gal's in her late 20s. She's averaged last year 80 to 100 personal customers a month. That blew me away. I mean, I'm a network marketer, and we used to think customers are not for us because we're big shots. Let me tell you something. Customers is what this whole company's about. And she explained to me how she's got girls that are doing this full time, and instead of spending 8 hours a day at a job, they're spending 8 hours a day on Facebook. And on a customer just with the trio pack, you can replace an income. It's not that hard to make 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euros over there a month or dollars here, which is what a job would pay me being on Facebook, getting customers. Forget about the back end. I'm just talking every single month. And so that's very impressive. The other thing is that they keep it simple so that, if I can do it, you can do it. The Jeff Robertis of the world, he's a legend. He's an icon. I call him like the Michael Jordan or the Magic Johnson or the Ronaldo or the David Beckham of our industry. Most of us aren't going to be that way, but we don't have to be. But he set the example doing it the old school way, the old way of building it, where today with social media, there's going to be a bunch of people like you guys that are going to be the Robertis of now. They're going to be the social media whizzes of now. And most of these top guys in the last 5 years in Europe, they're passing the old timers because they're just condensing time. They're using the tools, they're using technology to their advantage, and they're taking it at a faster rate. And, Juice Plus to me, I've heard about it. I remember when it first came out in the old days, and it's a totally untold story that just because the networkers live in this cocoon of network marketers, which is a very small percent of the world, and fruits and vegetables are not going out of style, you're never going to hear a doctor tell you, don't eat bananas, don't have broccoli, don't have kale, it's bad for you. Never going to happen. The awareness of fruits and vegetables, I don't know in Europe, but in America, it's more and more. And the simplicity here is amazing. And probably the last two things that amazed me the most was, number one, at the convention in the United States, when the last speaker, Sean and Jennifer Myers, finished, they said, can we get all the people in the room that have been with Juice Plus more than 20 years to please come up on stage? Now, there was 5,000+ people there. They dimmed the lights. They were shooting confetti, so I couldn't really see on stage and count every single person. But I would say there was about 75 to 100 people there, and I know some were couples. And I looked at that and I said, wow, most companies have never been around 20 years or will never be around 20 years. And here in one room, you got 75 to 100 people that have been with this company 20 years. That blew me away. That showed me longevity. And that's something that I think for those of you that have been around a while or those of you that are new, that is something that you should look at. And then the other thing is the way the company gives you 4 months of product in advance, says, here, we'll put our money, unheard of in the industry. For those of you that haven't been in another company, it's unheard of. Or the Tower Garden that we have here, for example, we'll ship it to you, pay 1 month, and we'll bill you for the next 12. That's unheard of. And the Children's Health Study, where if you get on the product, the kids get on it for free for up to 4 years, and the distributor doesn't get docked, the PVC doesn't. So you take all those different things. I'm a 28-year vet in the industry. I've been full-time. I see all those things happen, and I mean, I'm as excited as the guy sitting over here in Sarasota who's made all his money, because I think that, the potential in the next 5 to 10 years is bigger than what it's been. You go from 600 to a billion, you go from 600 to a couple billion. Kind of money he made long term is maybe the most, but you're going to see guys making his kind of income in the next. Over to you guys, and thanks for having me on the call.
That's really brilliant, Jeff. I feel very fortunate, very lucky, and very grateful that you've come on the call, certainly at such short notice. That is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, indeed. We're obviously in a situation now where we're trying to sort of level the playing field a little bit with regard to social media. I'm aware, of course, that you've been to see the Uro twins over in Italy to find out a little bit more about that. We're certainly going to be rolling out a whole new plan to use social media far more effectively than we have been doing. Somewhat echoing the Paolo Meucci groups and obviously the UK, some UK rhinos, etc. So yeah, social media is the way forward. Yeah, you're quite right about that. And we're certainly in that process. Is there anything else that you've learned regarding social media? Oh, are you still on?
I didn't hear you. Say that again.
Yeah, is there any particular extra points that you gained from talking to the Uros in Italy regarding social media?
Well, I think a couple of things I said. People need to make sure that they all have their Facebook profile generic. A lot of people want to put Juice Plus everywhere. They're totally against that because sometimes people have a misconception and you're branding you're not branding the product. You're marketing the product. Number two is the daily, just like you need to talk to people every day. Don't talk to 10 people today and nobody for a week. Make sure once or twice a day for sure you're posting because that's important. Regularity that people see because it works with the algorithm with Facebook as well. And then the other thing is they're leading with the product. They're getting people focused on the product first, getting customers versus going after the business people. So they're building rapport with people on social media. If anybody comments on any posts or any likes, they're following up. Like you commented on something I put, Sean, Jeff, Mary, Bob, Sue, station as you would like at a cocktail party. Not, hey, Sean, I see you commented on my product. Let me tell you about Juice Plus. Or I see you commented on my post. Let me talk about Juice Plus. Just build that relationship. And instead of picking up the phone to do it, they're all doing it through texting because anybody can text. There's no fear for me to text you. There may be a fear for me to talk to you. So they're big on the texting and not the talking until you build that rapport.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's certainly the way we want to go. And we see that as the way to obviously reach a lot more people, thousands of millions even. So, as I say, we're about to roll out a whole new plan over the next month or so and utilizing a lot of what you've just been sharing with us. So that's great, Jeff. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on the call. Great. Thank you very much. Go back to JR just for a moment. Hey, Jeff, are you there still?
I'm still here.
Great, good on you. Just something actually relating to our call last week with Luke. And we brought into the conversation, obviously, the Tower Garden. Now, Tower Garden was something very in the future for us, but it now looks like it's been brought forward. Is there anything you would like to share with us particularly, as we've had quite a bit of interest about it since our call with Luke?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would tell you to do, Sean, is focus on what you have, not what you don't have.
Yeah.
Focus on the products you have and the countries you're in, and the opportunity that's at hand. But you do have something that's coming your way in the future that is very exciting, and it really ties into our image, our brand, our mission, our purpose, and that is where people can take control of growing their own vegetables right on their patio. And that whole farm to table concept, they've now got, because we've got a lot of moms on a mission, is not only to inspire healthy living, but to get their kids excited about fruits and vegetables. So what they do is they get the kids involved with the growing process on the Tower Garden, and this thing grows like crazy, and as you cut it, it keeps growing. So you've got this excitement, this involvement, this touch, feel, taste, smell product sitting on your deck, and it's a great conversation piece for people to come over, but it's unreal because you can't keep up with it. A family of four has a hard time eating all the vegetables that keep growing off of this thing.
Wow.
I think it's right around $500, about $50 a month, and then it's free. All your produce is free after that, other than the seedlings to grow it. So exciting product. There's another product coming out on its way, but understand the hub of the wheel. We got some different spokes, whether it's the Complete, or we've got the gummies, or the Tower Garden, and we've got an Omega, plant-based Omega product coming out. We got the bars. There's a few spokes, but the hub of the wheel is your concentrated fruit and veggie powders in a capsule where you can flood your body with all these vine-ripened, organically grown fruit and veggies, strengthen, fight off different diseases and ailments. That's the one you want to get everybody on auto ship. Where that is a no-brainer. That's non-negotiable. That is something that you are going to put in your body every day and have that rainbow, that baseline of all those fruit and veggies in your bloodstream every day. Flood your body with it. The Tower Garden is a great addition to the Juice Plus story. So that's what I would say on that one, Sean. I know they're talking about getting it over there because they've even got the indoor grow lights. So people, that don't have a good growing season, if you're living up there near the North Pole or somewhere, you can actually still have some fresh veg right there on the tower.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously quite right. We have to concentrate on what we do, how we do know, and we do understand. That's Juice Plus. But bearing in mind, obviously, looking to the future, and we have this interest, let's say, from quite a few members of the team. So it's nice to hear a bit more about that. And in fact, quite a few of us, I think, are coming out to St. Louis in October for the next
Oh, yeah.
information. So obviously we'll be able to gain a lot more information at that point as well. But bearing in mind everything that's happening right now, the record-breaking month-on-month progress that we have. I think in January we outperformed the US and the UK. Isn't that right? So
I'm not sure about that.
Well, that's what I heard anyway. Anyway, so we're breaking all the records, that's for sure. Bearing that all in mind, how do you perceive, as regards this opportunity, as regards what's going to happen over the next 1 to 5 years, and of course leading up to the mother of all conventions in Dubai?
Yeah, and we'll finish on this question, Sean, because I've got another call that I've got to jump on that they're hitting me that I've got another call. But yeah, to answer that, I truly believe the best years are ahead of us, not behind us. And I truly believe people that are on this call right now, it's your turn now. You've seen the example of me, longevity over 30 years. You've heard the stories of even people in the last 5 years that are in the top 10, 7 of the top 10 over there have only been in it less than 5 years. I believe the next 5 years will be the biggest growth we've experienced in our 45-year plus history. So if you've been searching, I've been, talking about this, like I was searching in life, looking for something that I could be part of a movement, something that was bigger than myself, something I could be excited about, feel that I had some purpose and some meaning and some fulfillment, really something that you could grab a hold of and grow and become more and have more and be able to give more and play at a higher level in life and really raise your standards and step up. You have found a home. You have got something here that the timing could not be better to be involved with our company today. So those of you that are listening in right now live on the Zoom call, or those of you that are seeing the recording, get off this call, tear up that list of excuses, and get started. The time is now. There is no time like now to seize the moment and strike while the iron's hot. So, Sean, I want to thank you on behalf of myself and JW for having us on the call. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Welcome to the Juice Plus family. Welcome to the company with the heart. And let's go out there and make a difference in this world.
Let's do it. Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it. Have a great day further. All the best.
All right, good.
Cheers for now. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.